transformed his body and gained life-changing confidence for the holiday of his dreams. So I just want you to take a look at the man on the left compared to the man on the right. After his dream holiday, he came and did a photo shoot. And to say the results are outstanding is probably an understatement. These results are my best to date, and they are an absolute testament to Ben's relentless work rate, the belief in himself, and the courage to overcome the character he was in the left photo. So, without going too much in, I'm going to go over exactly how we got Ben in the best shape of his life, and how by following this advice that I give you, you can follow the exact same steps how Ben changed his life. You can apply them to yours as well. So just looking at the left-hand side, I just want you to take a real good look at this, because this is a man who was unconfident, didn't believe in himself, to a guy who showed up and just looked absolutely incredible and felt absolutely incredible. So we're going to just go down and show the photo shoot results that Ben actually achieved. I mean, even the left-hand side here, like the transformation is absolutely unbelievable. And there you go, that was Ben at the start. So this is the Ben that I met when we first started out on our journey together, and how we overcame, some personal struggles, mental struggles, and physical struggles, and got in the best shape of his life. So, and by the way, my name's Kylexmangan. So if you haven't heard of me before, you've never come across me, I am an online fitness coach, and I help men lose up to 15 kilo of unwanted body fat, pack on new lean muscle, and learn how to keep the results forever. All right, without giving up your favorite foods or spending hours and hours in the gym. Now, if that sounds like something you're interested in, listen to this video, because I'm going to break down exactly how Ben did it and how you can too. So how did Ben transform his body and his confidence? So I want you to picture this image in your mind, right? You're walking down the beach, radiating confidence, feeling good, knowing that you have put the work in. You're proud of the body you've worked for. You're feeling strong, fit, and unstoppable. In the gym, you know exactly what you are doing with every exercise, every rep, and every progression is planned with purpose. You're not just training hard, but you're actually training smart. And even better, you're still enjoying your favorite foods without guilt, all while sculpting the best version of yourself physically and mentally. Now, there's no confusion, no guesswork, just clarity about what to eat, when to eat, and how to achieve a sustainable result. Now, this training isn't about quick fixes or trends or what you see on Instagram. It's the basics done right. It's a proven practical approach that reshapes your body and transforms your mindset. You will actually wake up excited to live a life of self-love and self-respect. So this is Ben. This is Ben at the start, right? This is Ben who came to me with a vision of what he wanted to achieve, but he didn't know how to get there. He knew he could do it, but he didn't know how. So, and exactly like you, other side of the screen, I know you know in your heart you can achieve a world-class, amazing transformation, feel good, feel better about yourself. You might just be struggling with steps, and this is what we're here to do, is help you. So this is Ben's story. So 10 years prior to meeting Ben, he hired a personal trainer, and without seeing much success with a few sessions, he fell into bad habits while piling on body fat and losing confidence in himself. It took courage and an honest conversation with himself to start again, but this time it would be different, and here is how. The first step we took to ensure he was going to succeed this time is this. He defined his why. The first step was understanding why this transformation was important to him. For Ben, it wasn't just about looking good, it was about reclaiming his confidence and living life fully. So I want you to take a moment to yourself, and I want you to say, why do I actually want to transform my body and my life? I want you to pause this video, right? Go on your notes on your phone, or actually just get a pen and paper out and write down your why. This will become the fuel that keeps you going when challenges arise. Keep this very close to you. This is what most people don't do. They don't understand why they're going to the gym in the first place. They're not very clear. They just go for the sake of it. I need you to write down right now why you want to get in the best shape of your life. What will it do for you? Once you pause it, let's come back into it. So when we had this why nailed down, I knew why he wanted it, and the deep reasons behind he wanted it, the emotional factors. We then adopted the right training plan. We crafted a plan tailored to his goals, focusing on a push, pull, legs, full body, and 10k steps daily, with 3 cardio sessions in between. All right. Now this fit his schedule perfectly. When we looked at the hours, he wasn't doing anything productive. We've had clients start with less than this, so you don't necessarily have to follow this, but this is what we did with Ben specifically. Now, if you don't know what a push-pull legs is, it's basically a weight training program, basically a program that we put together for him. This allowed him to, do chest, shoulders, triceps, back and biceps, legs, and then a full body training session. Okay. Now, then we looked at the habits that were holding Ben back and replaced them with better ones. For example, taking walks when he could instead of instead of driving, and schedule time for his personal development and having his meals set out and ready. So basically, what I'm saying is, instead of going to the shop and driving, which were 5 minutes, he took a walk instead. Little small habits like this over 16 weeks, 32 weeks, 6 months have a massive impact on your life, right? So something so small can have a huge impact. Next, the focus was in the gym, not just to go through the motions of exercise, but actually structured training that saw progress each week. We focused on progressive strength training and prioritizing compound lifts to build strength and lean muscle. Now, what most guys do is they'll go into the gym, they'll be very random, they'll wing the workouts, and there's not real structure to the training session. They might go in on Monday and say, we'll do chest, we'll do a bit of chest, do some random exercises, or just stick to their favorite exercises, but never really progress it in weights, reps, sets, techniques, or anything that's going to help them actually grow the chest and actually get better. So we had Ben learn the basics and master them week on week, but we made it fun for him so he could actually enjoy his sessions, right? So these sessions aren't boring old, doing the same thing over and over. The progressive and the fun, because once you see yourself getting stronger like Ben did, he just got addicted to it and wanted more and more. Now, the basics: push-ups, pull-ups, squats, rows, pressing like shoulder press, bench press, chest press, functional movements like, walking lunges, being able to do plyometrics, stuff like that, like stuff that we're going to, train him to become a more healthier, happier human being, but also be explosive, be strong, and, work on his stability as well. So the basics, right? And then after that, what we did was to help shape his physique, we did targeted accessory work, shaping and defining the key areas to enhance his physique. So for example, when we looked at Ben's photos, when I looked at him, he had, weaker shoulders and weaker arms, right? So what we would do was add extra sets and extra reps with intensity close to failure and higher volume, right? And what that did was, over a period of time, with the right nutrition, we really, really saw an advancement in muscle tissue in them weaker areas. So consistent progress. Now, we were tracking his weights, reps, and sets each week to ensure growth. And this is what most people don't do. And that's why they look the same month after month. So I don't know how many right now. Are you actually tracking your lifts? Do you know what you're going in, to lift tomorrow? Are you aware of when you go into the gym and you're training, how many sets and reps you're going to be doing? Like, all this is very, very important when you go into the gym to make your gym session actually successful over a long period of time. So no more guesswork, just a clear path to progress. Now, this is Ben at week 6, yeah? So we can see already there's a little bit of change in his composition. Well, there's not even a little bit, there's a massive change. Going from this, right, holding on to a lot of belly fat around the belly, chest fat, no real muscle on the arms. Coming into week 6, we made a significant change, right? So you can already see the chest starting to come in, the abs are starting to show a little bit, the arms are starting to shape up. Now, this is the most important bit, right? This is probably about 80% is the nutrition. Ben loved eating burgers, pizzas, and takeaways, right? That was his guilty pleasure. That's what he liked to indulge in, and that's how he ended up piling on a lot of body fat. But here's the kicker, right? So the problem was his sedentary lifestyle due to his job and long commutes. That meant he wasn't burning calories and gaining excess fat as the months passed, right? So I'm not advocating to eat junk food, but what I am saying is people who eat junk food and who are sedentary, who don't move, they're the people who end up, gaining a massive amount of fat because they're not actually burning it off, right? So it's very high calories and it's very low expenditure, low movement. Now, we focus on habits we focused on habits that he could fit into his lifestyle seamlessly without it feeling like a huge change all at once. First, we had to find out his maintenance, the amount of calories he needed every day to maintain his body weight. This is what was going to allow us to change his body. So it's identifying how many calories you need to eat, right? Calories is just basically energy. How much food you need to eat every day just to maintain your body weight. So we came up with a figure of 1,800 calories for his maintenance. Instead of dropping his calories very low and trying to rush the process, we kept the calories there for the first phase, which were 1,800, excuse me. Now, you can, and this is what I want you to do, right? You can work out your calorie maintenance by just going on Google and typing in your BMR calculator. And what that will do is it'll just come up on the internet and type your age, your weight, your height, and it'll come up with a number for you. So I want you to go on Google, pause the video, and just literally put this information. It'll be the top one on Google. I think it's a sponsored ad, or one of the ones at the top where everyone sees. Bam, put your information in, and it'll give you your BMR, right? Your basal metabolic rate, right? Basically, calorie maintenance. Okay. So once you type your basic information into this calculator, it will give you your maintenance calories to work with, the amount of calories that you're going to need just to maintain your weight. Okay. So after we did that, we identified Ben's favorite meals so we could fit this into his calories and his lifestyle. Now, this is where everyone goes wrong, right? People think that you need to give up all of your favorite foods. You've got to go on a chicken and broccoli rice diet with Tupperware in order to actually make some real changes in the gym. Like you've seen the bodybuilders doing it. It doesn't have to be like that. And what we do is we get people to fill out what their favorite foods are and we incorporate them on a day-to-day basis, right? Now, this is the whole point of a transformation. It's like it has to be a lifelong journey and it's not a quick fix. All right. So you have to look at this as like the nutrition you're eating. Are you actually going to enjoy it? Because if someone enjoys something, they are much more likely to stick to it than someone who hates the process completely. All right. Ben, and this is what Ben's struggling with, right? Ben will go long hours without eating, then binge on sweets, biscuits, and snacks to keep him going at work. We replace this with having high protein, low calorie meals that were easy to prepare and quick to make. Now, this kept Ben fuller for longer. So he wasn't going long periods of time without nothing to eat and then just binging on whatever he saw in the cupboards, right? We prepared him. We got him some high protein, low calorie meals so he could have them there ready on his break to have quick and easy, 5-10 minutes. It doesn't have to be complicated. This stopped the habit and the urge to just go and binge on junk food because he didn't have anything prepared. Ben learned how to calculate his energy needs, understanding how much to eat to lose fat while building muscle. Then to balance his meals and his lifestyle so we could have nice tasting food, keep within his calorie range, and still feel full while training and recovering. So he could enjoy his favourite foods while practicing moderation instead of restriction, making the process sustainable and enjoyable. And this is a result: fat loss, muscle gain, and a lifestyle that he could maintain for the long term. Look at this guy, man. Just look at this result. Seriously, like this, when I was going through this process with Ben and I were watching week on week, this. So let's just recap, right? Let's just recap. My man went from here, yeah? Week 1, this is what he looked like, yeah? Fake smile. He didn't want to send me these photos, but he did anyway, right? He put the work in. Bam. Week 6, noticeable results, putting the graft in, doing the necessary steps. Week 16, bam, look at that, like unbelievable, beach body ready, like photo shoot ready. And that smile is a genuine smile. That is a smile to say like, I'm fucking doing it. And that is what you can achieve once you follow these principles, right? So week 16 to 24, stayed consistent to his non-negotiables, right? Transformations do not happen overnight. I know what you're seeing on Instagram. I know what you're seeing on all these, TikTok, where people are 1 minute fat and overweight and the next they're absolutely shredded. These things take time. You need to follow a proven system. We can help you with that system, right? But by staying consistent and trusting the process, Ben achieved results that exceeded his expectations. Now, this is why most people fail. And let me know if this is one of you, right? I want you to put in the comments what you struggle with. Right, most people fall off after a few months for a few reasons. Number 1, no vision of the future or measurable targets to reach. So it's just random, you're just kind of guessing. Number 2, motivation slips and you haven't found a routine or schedule that fits. Number 3, you don't have a system at all in place. You have no system to rely on when you are struggling or you're unstructured. You have just no system at all. No system with your calories, no system with your nutrition, no system with your training plan. And that's where most people fall off. Number 4, very important, no one to hold you accountable when life gets in the way, which it definitely will. Number 5, no support, help, or guidance, or someone to turn to when you actually need the help, right? And number 6 is guessing and winging your sessions and your nutrition instead of a system to fall back on, right? That is most people. That is like 95% of people, all right? Even people who are getting some moderately okay results, a lot of them are falling into these categories, okay? Your turn. Imagine yourself achieving this same transformation. So imagine you looking like this, all right? Imagine you looking like this, because I know you can do it. Walking into the gym with a plan that works. Watching your body grow leaner and stronger each week. Enjoying food, life, and having confidence like never before. Having a system in place that fits into your lifestyle and around your work and your commitments. It starts with one step, which is defining your why and committing to the process. You don't need quick fixes, you need a proven process. If Ben can do it, and so can you, and your journey starts today. Are you actually ready? Because now we're getting clear on what we want. We're getting very, very clear on what we did with Ben. We're going to get clear on what we're going to do with you. Now, the struggle we all know too well. We're just going to recap on some of the stuff. Ben's breakthrough and leaving insecurity behind to embrace a confident life. So just like Ben, just like yourself, stuck in a cycle of trying and failing to get in shape. If that is you, then please let me know. Feeling hopeless and unsure about where to start. Procrastinating on fully committing because he was unsure on what to do or where to start. Does that sound familiar? You are not alone, and there's a way out. Because Ben's journey before the transformation, right? Because Ben wasn't always overweight. He struggled with his body image for over a decade. He hired a personal trainer 10 years ago and had no success, right? And I know how that feels, whether you had some success in the past and you fall back into your old habits. A few little changes to start with, and you can make big results as time goes on. At first, he was skinny fat, carrying excess weight around the stubborn areas like chest and belly, like most men do. A bad experience with a personal trainer 10 years ago left him feeling like fitness just wasn't for him. For the next 10 years, off and on, he lived a sedentary lifestyle, working long hours at a desk and turning to food for comfort. By the time he reached his breaking point, Ben had gained over 10 kilo of excess fat and felt completely stuck. Now, the limiting beliefs you might actually hold, right, and why so many people fail. I need to spend hours in the gym every day. I have to give up my favourite foods to lose fat. That implying there's a punishment that comes with a diet, right? Implies there's a punishment for looking after your health. Implies there's a punishment for looking after you and feeling better and looking better. I'll never have the time, energy, or commit to a fitness routine, all right? And these are the limiting beliefs that most people hold on to and use an excuse of why they can't get into shape. These are all limiting beliefs and objections Ben had before he actually committed to this process. These beliefs kept Ben stuck for years, and the truth is they're all myths breaking free from what was the first step of his journey. We help Ben overcome all of these problems. Now, what I want you to do is think and write down 3 things that frustrate you about your current fitness health. Is it energy levels, confidence, stubborn fat? Is it your work hours? Is it, friends and family that don't believe in you? Every time you start, they might say something negative. Start writing some of this stuff down, what you're actually struggling with, right? Because this helps us get clear on what it is you specifically need. Awareness is the first key and the first step to actually changing yourself. Now, urgent problems to solve for Ben so he could lose the fat, all right? For 10 years, he tried diets that made him feel miserable and hungry. He did workouts he couldn't stick to because they were too complicated or exhausted. Winging his sessions when his personal trainer wasn't in sight. So the personal trainer didn't even give him a program. He just did sessions with him. And that's why he struggled. Searching online for quick fixes only left him more confused. Procrastinating on fully committing to himself, to his journey, and telling himself the same excuses. The problem wasn't Ben's effort, it was a lack of a simple, structured, and sustainable plan. Now, this is what I want you to do. I want you to look at this chart, and this is what we did with Ben to get clear on where he was and where he wanted to be. And this is what we do with every single client that comes on board, right? We just get a simple body fat chart, and we say, where are you right now, right? Most guys are sitting between 25 and 20, and most guys want to get somewhere between 10 and 15, okay? That's typically where people are. If you're 35 or 40, it's more than achievable as well. Please don't ever count yourself out. But most guys sit into that 25, 20, maybe 30%, right? I want you to take a look at this chart. I spelled a lot wrong, but anyway. I want you to take a look at this chart and I want you to identify where you currently are as a rough estimate. Okay, so pause the video and have a look where you think you are. Now that you are aware of roughly your body fat, we have a clear starting marker and a point where we can work from. Next is identifying where you would love to work towards and the habits you need to get there. So where would you love to look when it gets to your next holiday? When you're walking down the beach, all right? When you're at the swimming pool, wherever it is, when you're on your next date, when you know what I mean? Wherever it is, where would you love to be? The man at 40% is doing things much different at 10%. Can you guess what it is? So what's this man here at 10 doing different to him at 40 or 15? He's doing stuff mildly different, massively different, okay? So we aim for our clients to be losing 0.5 to 1% of body fat per week. This means if you're 25% and you want to get to 10%, we are looking between 15 and 30 weeks to achieve your goal. Building habits and the mindset that attain your, so building the habits and the mindset that attains your results for the rest of your life. Now, the turning point, what changed Ben wasn't what he did, but how he approached his transformation. He stopped looking for shortcuts, embraced the power of consistency. He said enough was enough and he wasn't happy with what was looking back at the mirror. He knew in his heart he could achieve more than what he was given. He framed his perspective as training as self-love and self-respect and not just a chore that he had to do and he didn't enjoy. So people look at working out and training and looking after themselves as a chore. It's like, oh, I've got to do it after work. Oh, I'm tired. I can't do it. Like, we reframe this. It's like, actually, I'm grateful to be able to do this. And as I'm doing it, I'm getting healthier. I'm looking better. I'm feeling better. I'm getting stronger. These are all massively positive things that you want to be looking at in your life. He focused on small, manageable changes that added up over time. And most importantly, he found the right guidance and support and accountability to ensure his success. Now, this is Ben at a photo shoot. Look at that. I mean, the chest fat, the belly fat, the abs there, like absolutely ridiculous. The amount of muscle tissue that he's put onto his body, the amount of fat that he's lost, just an incredible transformation. And he's actually looks younger, right? These are months apart and he looks younger. That is the craziest thing about this, right? And that is the craziest thing about what you can do. You can take years off you in a good way, all right, and look younger. Drinking more water, training consistently, eating better, dropping the bullshit habits that are fucking holding you back, dropping the excuses. Now let's break it down, the 3-step blueprint. How do we get from point A, this here, to point B, right? Skinny, fat, and unconfident to lean, ripped, healthy, and happy. Step 1 is building a strong foundation, a baseline health check to understand where your starting energy levels are, sleep, stress, and overall health. Then we have to get your bloods done to see if there's any underlying health issues that we can give you the supplements and nutrition you need. All right, so getting your bloods done, you get your testosterone checked, you have a look at any health markers that need addressing, any gut issues, etc. From there, nutrition fundamentals. Learn the basics of calorie balance, protein intake, and managing foods that you actually enjoy. Understanding these principles are lifelong and can be incorporated for the rest of your life. It's not a quick fix. This is for a lifelong journey. Now, movement starter. This is what you can start with straight away. Begin with simple activities like walking or basic bodyweight exercise if you don't have a gym. Increase steps by 2,000 to 4,000 will have at the start a huge impact on your mental and physical. So going for longer walks, especially on your lunch breaks, especially on your weekends, hitting longer walks is going to help massively. And this is what we did with Ben. So the immediate action you can take today, track your activity levels for 1 week. So look at your phone and you will see your movement for the 1 week on Apple Health, Samsung Health, etc. And look at the steps that you're doing. Look at the hours that you're sitting and the sleep that you're getting. Awareness reveals where small changes can have a big impact. Whoop bands can have amazing track on your sleep, recovery, and stress. So you can look into buying one of them. Now look at this. This is where brain health, the mindset. This is where we look at self-belief and challenging your limiting beliefs. So identify what your thoughts are. Saying I'm too busy, it's too late for me, and challenge them. When you actually look at these beliefs of your own imposed limiting beliefs, you will start to realize that there is ways to overcome them. Your habits dictate your future, the habits you are doing on a day-to-day basis, consciously and unconsciously. Let's look at the habits you are aware of that aren't serving you, and let's look to replace one today. So this could be simply, right, if you're going to bed at 11 o'clock or half 11 and you're getting up groggy late, maybe going to bed half an hour early is going to serve you well, right? Maybe putting your phone down, not doom scrolling on TikTok and Instagram all the way up to bedtime, and actually allowing yourself to journal and get your thoughts out on paper and setting yourself up for a new day. Little things like this is what's going to get your mindset right. This is what we teach people on our program. Celebrating progress. Focus on small wins instead of perfection. Each step is what matters, right? People focus on Instagram, social media in general, make comparisons to people who are 10, 20 chapters ahead. Your journey will take time. Start with gratitude. Now, this changed my life and my client's life. Start with gratitude, genuine gratitude, being grateful, being thankful for at least 5 to 10 things minimum every single day. Abundance starts with the acknowledge of the good things that are already in your life. Okay? Abundance starts when you acknowledge the good that is already in your life. Remember that statement. There is many amazing lessons to learn on the way. The journey is to be enjoyed as much as the destination. So stop rushing so much. Comparison is the thief of your own joy. Be aware of this. And look at setbacks, failures as learning opportunities, not reasons to quit. So it might not have worked 2 or 3 years ago. My life, when I was coming up and I were finding my way, I had many setbacks. But one thing I did I learned from my failures, and you can do too. So if you think you failed in the past, it doesn't define who you are in the now, in this moment. All right? Just because it hasn't worked in the past doesn't mean you can't rewrite your story and make it even better this time around. Ben is living proof of this. Now, step 3, action, consistency, and accountability. Setting clear goals. Know exactly what you want to achieve and why. This is the most important step, and it has to mean enough so you stick to it. You don't fall off. Do you want to feel like shit anymore? Scared to take your t-shirt off and be the best version of you, the best man you can be. All right. So we are coming into a new year. Who do you want to become? Now, it's about getting support. Like, a lot of your co-workers, colleagues, friends, family won't understand the goals and the dreams that you might have, right? So it's so important that you surround yourself with people and systems that keep you motivated and on track. The people in your environment and your circle will dictate your behavior. And that's why it's important to get around like-minded people who have a similar mindset and goals. You can mostly connect with these people. You can connect with these people much more and be more relatable than your usual work colleagues or family, right? And that's why we've got over near enough 50 guys at this present moment in our group, right? All men, all like-minded, all looking to achieve what Ben's achieved here. Great physique, massive confidence, a lot of ambition, and just want to be the best man that they can be. All right, so identifying and understanding Ben's needs. Dietary habits, so we understand the diet. Ben loved pizza and burgers, so we included healthier versions of it in his plan. He ate 4 core meals he enjoyed, reducing decision fatigue while staying consistent. So instead of trying to, cook a gourmet meal every night, he just picked 4 to 5 meals that he loved and he stuck to them. And once he got a little bit bored, we just replaced it. All right. We focus on high protein, nutrient rich meals to fuel his workout and his day. Now, we addressed success. We got very clear on what held Ben back in the past and his obstacles that needed addressing from day one. With this clarity, the road was clear and his mind was ready to put in the work without the previous mentality or setbacks. Now, the accountability, already self-motivated, already driven to get in the best shape of his life, paired with me, his coach, his one-to-one coach, being on him and making sure he was showing up and doing the things he was supposed to do on a day-to-day basis is the reason he got phenomenal results. All right. Each session was under 60 minutes, leaving room for his busy work schedule and personal life. And we added 30 minutes of extra walking for the fat burning. Okay. Training, world-class accountability, dietary habits, and the mindset and having mental toughness. That is a physique you can achieve. All right. Now, my laptop's going to die, so I don't want to rush this, but I do need to be quick. What are we on? Right. So, yes, I've just managed to put it back in the charger. Right. Okay. So this is obviously Ben at the start. Then he went to his photo shoot. So preparation, right? Ben woke up early each day with his calendar set, his meals ready to eat for the day. His training sessions were planned out. He knew what to do when he stepped in the gym, what workout he's going to perform, and what he had to do within the session to progress. He pushed himself to the limits in each workout, exceeding his own expectations and building confidence and resilience in the progress. How can you not build confidence when you're fucking getting better each week? How can you not feel better about yourself when you're going in the gym and actually improving, right? It's just a formula to just win. And then photos down below are exactly the representation of a man who's willing to commit to fitness and commit to himself to a healthier, happier lifestyle and cut out the laziness and the bullshit excuses, yeah? Consistency. Ben shed 10 kilo, 20 pounds of unwanted fat, especially from the stubborn areas like the belly and the chest, quite clearly. The muscle gain, he added 10 pounds of lean muscle, improving his strength and definition. When I met Ben, he could hardly do a set of push-ups. He couldn't even do a pull-up. Then he managed to, get stronger and the weeks, and then he was sending me videos, 10, 15, near enough 20 pull-ups in a set. Yeah? It's not a joke. This is such a real life, transformation that can happen to anyone who's willing to put the work in. All right? Confidence boost. For the first time in years, Ben felt comfortable taking his t-shirt off at the beach. Now, this is one of the most important things. Number 3 is being coachable and accountable. Ben embraced being coachable by staying humble, actively listening, and applying the feedback that he was given, that I give him, with intent. He took accountability by owning his actions, keeping with his commitments, and striving for growth. Ben led with integrity, faced challenges head on, and consistently worked to become a better version of himself. You cannot come into this with an ego, right, when you're in this shape. You can't come into it thinking you know everything, right? You have to put your ego to a side and think, actually, like, I know I can improve myself here. So this is what I'm trying to say. You have to be a coachable person. You have to be someone who is willing to put their ego aside. And if you're not willing to do that, I'm not willing to speak to you. You have to be open to be able to apply information and take criticism head on so you can improve as a person, as a man, all right? Now, seeing the results, Ben's 20-pound fat loss and lean muscle gain, right? So he lost 20 pounds through dedication, hard work. Ben shed over 20 pounds of fat, achieving a lean, muscular physique. Unbelievable. He gained 10 pounds of lean muscle, transforming his body composition and enhancing his strength, and 10x his confidence. When Ben started showing up for himself with more respect and self-love, his ability to follow through on his word and his actions, his confidence naturally grew as the months passed. Now, achieving his goal, now this was a big thing for Ben. He wanted to go on holiday and feel comfortable. He wanted to feel good about himself. Achieving his goal, Ben's confident beach holiday in Australia. Right, so this is what it looked like. Didn't want to go on holiday. Felt like shit about himself. Did not enjoy what he saw looking in the mirror. Right, boom. Now he sent me this on WhatsApp, and I couldn't fucking believe it. I was like, "Oh my god, mate, you look like you just look like a superhuman. You look amazing. You look absolutely." And he sent me this on WhatsApp. Right, and you can go watch his YouTube on my YouTube, the photo shoot that he did as well. So it's all on YouTube. He sent me this, and I was just like, "This is fucking awesome, mate. You look incredible." My man has got a 6-pack with a bike, cruising down Australia. This is the photo Ben sent me with his 4-week stay in Australia. Just months ago, he was too self-conscious to take off his shirt. Now he's cruising confidently along the beach, completely at ease in his own skin, smile on his face, shades on. That moment, it wasn't just a highlight of his journey. It was a testament to the life-changing power of a transformation. And the best part, Ben's results weren't fleeting. He continues to maintain this condition because of how good it feels. So once you get in this shape, it's very, very hard to go back to the old habits that made you feel like shit. Very, very hard. This is why it's so important that you take 6 months of your time to work on yourself, to actually instill the lifelong habits. Because quick transformations, rapid fat loss, you end up putting all the fat back on. Now, Ben didn't just transform his body, he built habits for life. Healthy eating, he continued to enjoy his food in a balanced, sustainable way. He regularly trains and workouts have become a natural part of his routine, not just a chore, not something that he had to do. It actually is like therapy to him. And me, myself. A positive mindset. Ben developed self-discipline, resilience, and a sense of pride in his progress. That could be you. Next summer, that could be you. And that is the power of the transformation. And that is the power of the proven process that we have that help people. Okay. I've got multiple more clients that I'm going to show you as these YouTubes go on. Because we have done the most transformations this year than all the years previous in my career. Now, why you can do this too. Now, here's the truth. If Ben can do it, you can do it. You don't need hours in the gym or extreme diets. Let's just cut to the chase. You don't need that. You can achieve results even with a busy schedule. So that ain't an excuse. The key is finding a plan that fits your life and committing to it consistently. Boom, photo shoot results. No mess around. That is incredible. One of the best transformations I've ever seen. Ben, if you're watching this, well done, mate. I'm so proud of you. So this is my personal guarantee to you on the other side of the screen. This is how confident I am. I will help you lose 15 kilo of unwanted body fat, pack on new lean muscle, and learn how to keep your results forever, just like Ben did, or I will give you your money back. You can book a free call with me and we will run through exactly what you need to do to achieve these results. So you will book a one-to-one call with me. Me and you will go back and forth and identify exactly what you need in terms of a program, in terms of the one-to-one support. You will get this outcome. This is what we guarantee: to have the abs, to have a fucking genuine smile on your face. Now, I'm going to be very, very clear with this. This isn't for someone who wants to have a quick fix, who isn't willing to invest in themselves, who isn't willing to show up at the call and be coachable, who thinks to know it all. This is for a person who's willing to put the money down. This is for a person who's willing to be coachable. This is for someone who's willing to actually apply the principles that I have transformed many, many people's life with. There are no smoke screens around here. I want you to be very clear. If you book that call, all right, you will get the best results of your life, but you have to be willing to be a coachable person. All right. So I will put a link down below in the description box, and then you can fill out the form and me and you will have a discussion one-to-one. I promise you, I will have everything in my power to follow the steps that Ben has, that I have, to get you in the best shape of your life. That is an absolute guarantee. And if you don't get the results, I will give you all your money back. That is how confident I am in this program, because we have transformed so many men this year, and in 2025 and beyond, we're going to be transforming many, many more. And I want you to be one of them. Okay. If you like the YouTube, drop a like, leave a comment about Ben's transformation. If you want to actually see Ben's transformation, there's a photo shoot back in 2023. You can scroll down all the way and you can see it for yourself, and you can actually watch video footage of Ben in action looking unbelievable. So I'm going to love you and leave you. Book the call down below, apply, and I will speak to you very, very soon. Let's go. Whoosh! Come on. Yes. Let's have it.